Hello, my name is Jason Caldwell. I am the lead developer for the s2Member plugin for WordPress. In this video, we're going to cover s2Member's API tracking integration methods. Now this is going to be a two-part video because in the second part, I'm going to discuss API notifications. And the reason I'm combining these two features into one video is because these two features are closely related. API notifications can also be used for the purpose of tracking. Now, API notifications can also be extended well beyond just for tracking, and we'll get more into that in the second part of this video. But right now, let's take a look at the basic API tracking integration provided by s2Member. And that's the section that we're on right now, and you'll find these subsections. Okay, so let's start with the first subsection here, titled Membership Signup Tracking Codes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and expand this down, and you'll see that this is essentially just some details with some information about what is going on here. And I'm going to walk you through that in just a moment. And then it provides a field where you can paste in some tracking codes if you'd like. Now these are all optional. They're not required for s2Member to function or even to track financial information, because you can do that through your PayPal account. Every PayPal account includes very sophisticated reporting tools for all of your financial details. Okay, so these additional tracking codes are designed to give you the ability to connect s2Member with services like Google Analytics or affiliate software installations and other third-party services that need to receive information about e-commerce reporting. Okay, so before we start pasting codes in and I go too much farther with this section, let's go ahead and take a look at some examples of tracking codes. I'm going to pull up another screen here, and this is just a text editor where I have 3 examples of tracking codes. And then this first example, this is a pixel tracking code that comes from the iDev affiliate software. Now, these 3 examples, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through, and we're going to implement all 3 of these examples in this video. And that should give you a good foundation for how to integrate tracking codes so that no matter what company that you're using, you should be able to integrate that company into s2Member using these instructions and these examples here. Okay, so with this first example, we call this pixel tracking codes because it's just an image tag that loads up a 1 by 1 pixel image. And in the process of loading that image, it's going to send information over to your installation of iDev Affiliate. Now, iDev Affiliate is an affiliate management system, and I highly recommend this application. It's very affordable. It's got tons and tons of features, and s2Member supports everything that iDev Affiliate has to offer. Okay, so this is one example where you can see iDev Affiliate is asking for the sale amount and then an order number. Okay, the profile ID in this example is going to remain hard-coded in. This is going to be assigned by iDev Affiliate when you get the code. And then you're going to have to change out the amount and the order number with your shopping cart. In this case, that would be s2Member. And we're going to do that in an example here in just a moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the share sale code. And this is another pixel tracking code, which looks very similar, only the variables are just a little bit different, and this is sending the data to share sale. So here again, we need to pass the amount and a tracking ID. Okay, so let's take a look at a little bit more elaborate example. In this case, this is a Google Analytics e-commerce tracking code. Now this one is different. It's powered by JavaScript. Okay, now that's a very common thing. A lot of codes are powered by JavaScript, and whether you have JavaScript or a pixel tracking code, all of those are compatible with the s2Member installation. And so in this example, you can see we're also passing through, this is an order ID, this is just a store name, and then this is the total, that would be the amount. And so what we're going to start off with is I'm going to go back over here to iDev Affiliate and copy this pixel tracking code and go ahead and integrate that into my installation of s2Member. Okay, this way my affiliates can be credited whenever a successful sale comes through. So in this case, I know I need to change out the amount, and I also need to change out the order number. So how do I accomplish that? Well, just below this field, you'll see that s2Member provides you with the whole list of replacement codes here that provide information about the transaction. Okay. Now, if you're going to pass an amount to an affiliate program, I suggest using the initial replacement code, which is always going to be dynamically replaced with the initial fee that was charged during sign-up. Okay, so in this case, I'll take out the 169, and I'll replace that with this replacement code. Okay, so what will happen now is whenever this code is actually displayed within the browser, the initial replacement code will be dynamically replaced with the actual initial amount of the sale. Now I need to do the order number, and for the order number I recommend the subscription ID variable that comes from PayPal, because that will always be associated with the subscription ID, and that will always remain unique. So that's a great code to use as the order number. Okay, so let's go back and grab the other example now from Share a Sale, and let's integrate this one now. Now remember, we can put multiple codes here. I'll just come down a couple lines. And here again I need the amount, so let's use the initial replacement code. And I need the tracking ID. Now in this case I've read the documentation for Share a Sale, and it tells me that the tracking code here just needs to be a unique number associated with each transaction. And so the subscription ID is great. That's a perfect thing to use for that because it will always be unique. So I will just take out these 9s and replace that with this replacement code. Okay, so now we have Share a Sale and iDev Affiliate both integrated. Okay, let's go back and take a look at Google Analytics. We just copied the Google Analytics tracking code, and we'll come down a couple more lines. And in this example, you can see that this set account should actually be equal to the Google Analytics ID associated with the domain that you're performing tracking on. Now, I'm just going to leave this like it is in this case. But when you get your code, you'll want to change this out with the ID that's specific to your domain inside your Google Analytics account. And then next, you'll come down here and you'll fill in these 3 fields. Okay, so for the order ID, we just right now have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to replace that value so that it's dynamically inserted with the subscription ID replacement code. And for affiliation or store name, now that can be hard-coded in. I can just put in that case the name of my site, or the domain for this site, which is videos.snapseed.com in this demonstration. And then I need the total, and so I would use the initial replacement code for that. Okay, that's all there is to it. So now we have just integrated the iDev Affiliate pixel tracking, Share a Sale pixel tracking, and Google Analytics e-commerce tracking. So that was pretty simple. Okay, so now let's collapse this and look at here at this additional layer of functionality. Now for specific post page access, we're going to do the exact same thing. The difference here is that the replacement codes are just a little bit different. Okay? On a specific post page transaction, these will always come in as a buy now transaction. So these will always be for a transaction ID instead of a subscription ID, and the amount replacement code will be used instead of the initial amount. Okay? So these are the 2 variables that you would use, or that I would recommend that you use, instead of the other 2 that we used here for membership level access, which were subscription ID and initial. Okay? But the process is the same. You paste in the codes and then put in your replacement codes here so that the information can be filled in dynamically. Okay, that's all there is to it. Now these 2 sections here are what we just went over. This is an example for iDev Affiliate. You can see here the example again with the initial and the subscription ID. And this was the example for Share a Sale that we just went over. And you can, if there's anything you missed, you can take a look at these examples in your installation of s2Member. And then this section here just talks about the possibility of using API notifications. And we're going to cover this in the next part of this video.